Welcome. We'll be debating the topic, this House will legalize torture. Came up, one is the opposition, and Mr. Gary and Lloyd are the government. Okay. Without any further ado, I'd like to get started. Alright. In 2001, 9/11 occurred, where terrorists took over a 747 and crashed into the World Trade Center, killing approximately 3,000 people. This terrorist act resulted in President George Bush declaring a war on terror, and things have never been the same in America since. Various basic human rights have been violated. Habeas corpus, the right to being charged with a crime, the right to trial. People have been detained without trial, without charges, and it continues today in a place called Guantanamo Bay. We, the government team, feel that torture should be legalized, and we'll talk to you about why. First of all, definition of torture is physical and mental suffering. We will elaborate more on this in our model and limit the extent of this form of torture. Legalize to make lawful. The scope will be worldwide. In our split, our first argument will be justification. Our second argument will be the advantages of the current mechanism that we're proposing. The DPM will come up and talk about the social implications, and the fourth argument will be about the politics. What is this debate about? This debate is about the greater good. Who is helping more people in the world, and who is protecting human rights, and who is preventing war crimes, and who is preventing the recruitment and proliferation of terrorism throughout the world. Our harm has three levels. The first level is economy, the second level is war crimes, and the fourth level is national security. On the level of the economy, on 2001, the airlines in America shut down for 3 days. When the airlines in America shut down, this was a big blow to the economy. Also, currently, as a sub point, individually, people are scared to travel to various countries throughout the world. On an international level, that affects the countries in general. Tourism has gone down, economies have suffered throughout the world. On the issue of war crimes as a harm, terrorists commit war crimes. They are preying on innocent civilians. They attack women and children, the aged, the infirm. They attack without warning, without uniforms. They are mixed in with the normal people, and they cause death, mayhem, and destruction. There's examples in Mumbai. There's examples in Japan about the gassing in the subway system. There's examples throughout the Middle East and throughout Asia. On the issue of national security, we see that what governments have done in reply to this is they've gone on to create illegal torture cells. Examples are Guantanamo Bay, which is one thing that we know about. There are numerous cells throughout the world where illegal torture is going on. We refer to this as black market torture. And what's going on in the status quo is there is no regulation of black market torture. People are being tortured and no one knows anything about it. It's not regulated. The social, economic, and political harm of that would be elaborated further, but this is terrible and must cease. As a clarification, when George Bush declared the war on terror, we must acknowledge that war on terror is a formal declaration of war. And under the Geneva Convention, when you're at war with another country, it's about uniforms. We allege that terrorists are not soldiers. Terrorists are spies. They wear no uniform. They mix in with the population. And thus, under the Geneva Convention, which is the basis of war throughout the world and throughout history, spies should be killed on sight. However, we, the government team, being humanitarian, we want to protect the right to life of these terrorists. And we want to expose them to torture, to get information from them, and to cut off the problem at its root. Our model, on the first level, we will engage and address and direct our attack on militants and ex-army and ex-terror cells in Pakistan, Iraq, Iran, and Yemen, and we'll address the Middle East. We'll purposely engage and address all former and current soldiers of those regimes. These spies that we capture will not be executed. They will be tortured. What we'll do is, the second level, we'll use black ops and covert agents, and we will use the people of their own country against them, and we will find these people. So for example, we will go into Iraq. We'll have a black op operation going down. We will capture a soldier in Iraq, and we will interrogate that soldier to find other soldiers in Iraq. Because we are going to go to the heart of the problem. 9/11 was not a terrorist act by an individual. 9/11 was a state-sponsored terrorist act. An individual person cannot go and learn how to fly a 747. An individual person cannot go and make a passport. This is a state-sponsored act, and therefore it is actually a war between states. We will also increase it, on the third level, we'll increase the security at the borders of all Western countries and unify the security systems of the EU, UK, and the United States, and Asia that will cooperate with us. Therefore, we have a current database. We will also use military tribunals to pass judgment on our captured people. So our covert ops will catch them. They'll be tried before a military tribunal. They'll be found guilty, and then they'll be tortured. The funding for this. Let me finish this. This will be paid through private funding and sponsored by weapons factories and weapons industries that we use currently and government. The seized spies will be tortured in secret cells, and we will focus only on psychological means and chemical methods using drugs. And they will be only tortured by trained medical army personnel. The target area will begin with the Middle East, and this is also a justification of our war. So what have I talked to you about so far? I have talked to you about our model and our harm. Our justification is pretty obvious, that we have to do something to go to the heart of torture and eliminate torture and terrorists throughout the world. And we allege that the status quo currently has a black market industry of torture that is totally unregulated and will continue on to this day. We also feel that the advantages from this system is because we address current or past people in the army in these various countries and these military regimes, people that are probably guilty of war crimes, we are targeting the right people, and we are definitely different from the status quo. So therefore, what we want to see happening is we want to see a world without terrorists, state-sponsored. We want to use torture regulated by medical personnel, tried before a military tribunal, and giving them their basic human rights again, and create a much more peaceful society. Thank you. Your thing. You clapped twice. What are you doing? I'm like, God. I was like, really?
Yes, brother.